Hello my friend, it's Thierry. And last time we have seen together how to build OpenSSL. Today we are going together to see how to use OpenSSL. If you have not seen the previous video, I have made all the steps for the compilation. And after having seen the video, I wanted just to show you some different things that I have not spotted before. First, on the OpenSSL page, here is a GitHub page. And what is interesting, in fact, what I want to show you is that on this page, in fact, there is also all the steps that I have described to you. So if you go to the end on build and install, there are some steps for the different platform. Last time we have seen the Windows platform from another source, but here you see that there is all the steps also, so you can follow these steps. There is Perl mentioning the NetWider ASM. And here they recap install Perl, install ASM, use Visual Studio with the different Perl command lines, the nmake. And I have stopped here last time. I have stopped here and I have not run the nmake tests and I have not run the nmake install. So this is one, these things are missing in the previous video. So look back again and you can look at this. So I have done this after this video, and here I have the output. Here you see there is file deletion after the nmake clean. So you should run this commands nmake test, etc. So this was for the correction of the last video. So today we are going to see how to use OpenSSL. And also what I have not mentioned in the last video is that I have in my own GitHub repository created the OpenSSL directory where there is different branches. So it selects the branch other location, and you can see at the root of this branch open location there is a built Win1064. So if you want to take the binary from here, it is totally possible. And here you have the OpenSSL exe with the different libcrypto DLL, libSSL DLL. Now, let's come back to the most important subject of today. We are going to see in a lab how to use this OpenSSL. So it is installed. So now it is installed. It is available in my path. So I can use it. And if you do not have the binary, come back to the video before. Also, it is OpenSSL is also available if you do not have it on the Git installation directory. Let's just me show you fast. If you do not have it, and if you have Git, you go to program files, Git here in the Minj 64 bin. On here you have also an OpenSSL binary. This is which is ready to use. Now that you are ready, let's make some experiments and see together how to use OpenSSL. OpenSSL, you have the help with this, and here the help show you different things. It is first showing you the standard commands. So here you have the different commands that you can do. And for example, there is the dgst command, and you see below there is more explanation about the dgst command. There is also the enc command, and you see below some help for the enc command. But what you must be aware is that you can theoretically use all these single command for OpenSSL. And the way you use it is that if you do not know how to use, you press the corresponding command, for example, OpenSSL enc, then help. And in fact, the opposite, OpenSSL help, then the first function that you want, and then it is giving you some help for the given function. So here you see use help, open help enc, usage enc, then options, and then you have more help for the encryption. So what I want to stress you is how to find the documentation by yourself so that you can do whatever you want. For example, if I come back to OpenSSL help, you see that, for example, there is this prime functionality that you do not know how it works. you do open SSL help prime, and then it explains you usage, prime, options, number to check for primarity. And so for example, say open SSL prime, then the number, like for example 7, and it says 7 is prime, but you can use it for more bigger number like this. And here, for example, OpenSSL says you that this is not prime. So what is important is to understand the different functions of OpenSSL which are available here, how to obtain the documentation by prefixing the name of the function by the keyword help, and then you have more help. So now what I want is make you the illustration how to encrypt and to decrypt. So OpenSSL help enc to say how to use this. So valid options are, there is a -help which displays the summary, the list which is listing the cipher, the -cipher which is an alias for the list. And then you have input file, output file, etc. So we are going to see together how to use all these parameters together to be able to encrypt a file. So first, what is interesting, you know what, for a reference, I will take this thing and will put it in my current directory where I will work. So the first thing which is interesting is that we can investigate by using the enc with the minus list to see the different ciphers. So open SSL enc minus list. So open okay, so here you see that with this command I have a lot of supported ciphers. There is AES for Reindl, Advanced Encryption Standard. There is different other algorithm. What is interesting is that you have the DES, you have the triple DES, you have the IDA, RC2, RC4. Interesting. And what is also interesting is that you see that for the different algorithm, for the AOS, you have the different sizes, 128, 192, 256. So the bigger the size, the stronger it is. And also different encryption mode. The ECB, the CFB, the CBC. What is interesting, CBC is interesting because there is a feedback on like an avalanche of the different blocks. So what is interesting, for example, if you want to have some strong algorithm, you can use, for example, this AES256 CBC. So this is what I am going to use. So what is interesting, so what I will say is that my mode is chosen. I will use this one, which is one of the, which should be the strongest. Let's continue to see together the OpenSSL command line. So there is a list of cipher. This is done. The -cipher is the same thing as the list. The -input file. This will be the input file, the -output file, the passphrase source. Okay, encrypt, decrypt. So you can choose to encrypt or to decrypt with this flag E or D. Print the IV key. This could be interesting. And what I will do is I will prepare now my input file. So for the input file, I will create a blank file, and with the content, let's make some promotion. I will go to my LinkedIn profile, copy the description, and paste it in the description. Hello, Axel. Tac. And for the people who do not know me, I am Thierry Bremer, Senior Software Engineer, working with more than 10 years in C# development. And you can read more this text here. Okay, so I have saved my input. I will now prepare the new command. OpenSSL enc. So what is not written here is that you should put also the algo. So the algo is there. Open enc the algo. Then minus in for the input file. So here I will put minus in for the input file, which is input.txt. Input.txt. Then minus out. Let's say this is bin. Let's say this will be out.bin. Then minus pass, val, pass phrase source, encrypt. Me, I want the encryption. Minus E, I will put the password just after. The decrypt will be the revert. Print the IV key. This could be interesting. Minus P, just for just to see. It is just to print. Okay. Verbose output. Let's say I want a verbose output to see a little more. Disable standard block padding. No. Minus salt. Use salt in the KDF default. So this is something default. I will not use it. No salt, do not use salt in the KDF. So I do not use it because salted things, which is the default, is the best thing. Minus debug, print debug info. Let's put some minus debug to see what he wants to say. Minus A, base 64 encode, depending on encryption flag. I will not put this because this will increase the size. I do not need it. Base 64, I do not need it. Minus A, use with base 64, I do not need it. Buffer size, I don't care. The passphrase, minus K, val. Let's say yes. So I will put the password in command line. So minus K, PASS. Let's write this. Read passphrase. So you can put input file if you want a stronger key. Here I make this only for the demonstration with a small password. Raw key, salt in X, IV in X. So you can put your own IV, which is not interesting. I think OpenSSL should be strong enough to do it alone. Minus D, value D, specify DGS to create a K form. I don't know, I'm not interested. Minus iteration specifies the iteration count and force the use of KBDDFKF2. Use password based K derivation function 2. Okay, so it means with this, maybe it takes the weak password that I am supplying and will put some maybe some strength on it. For example, if you put, you can take a password, small password, and make a hashing on it, so that the output of the hash is bigger, so it is harder to brute force. So let's put this. Don't encrypt. No Inici4 supported. Okay, here this is what I was missing. Here the minus with the star, which is in fact the IIS, which I have put at the beginning of the command line. And the minus rand val load the file into the random number generator. No. Write random data to the specified file. No. Use getlib. Yes, it could be interesting to encrypt also. Minus Z, because when you encrypt, the file is reduced and the entropy of the file is reduced, so it is harder to decrypt. Always prefer to compress first, then encrypt. Okay, minus engine val, use engine, possibly a hardware device. I don't know what this works. So let's try this stuff and put the output directory in the same time here. Okay. So you see a lot of verbose output has been generated because I have put some special command line flags. The headlib, which is good. You see it has first started to compress, which is the correct order. You should always first compress before encrypting. You see that there is a salt which has been generated, a K which has been generated also, which might be the derivation of this weak key, but now it is just much stronger. IV, good. Then there is a cipher which is used. Okay, file pointer, free, okay. So let's look at the binary. So my input file is there, and I will open the binary in my Notepad++, and it is correctly encrypted. Good. Now let's do the reverse thing to try to decrypt it. So what I will do is I take again my command line. I will just say that instead of -e, I will decrypt. So I come back to here, I replace my E by a D, then my output file is becoming the input file, then my new output file should be decrypted.txt, and let's remain like this and type enter to see how is behaving. This should work. Okay, so here there is different debug output. Also, let's just look at the key 026. It is the same key, 779, the same key. Okay, and let's look at the decrypted.txt, which is the correct file. Okay, good. So you have the input, the encrypted, and the decrypted. Just for the fun, let's say I will do this on pass. I will add another S or put a X. Pass X. Okay. Look here, bad decrypt. So there is a problem in the decryption, which is normal. Let's look. Now I reload this. Okay, and you see that it has not successfully decrypted, which is normal because the password is invalid. Now let's look. So this is a text. On often in crypto on software, you have problem. You might have problem between text and binary file. So now let's look with the binary file. For the binary file, I will use some music files. Here I have some files from Epidemic Sound. Let's say, for example, no, let's go to Artlist, music file Artlist, that if you want to get some of these files, you can also contact me. There is a video on this channel showing a breach, a web breach. Let's take a good music file. Okay, let's take this one counterclockwise. Okay, good. So I will take this one. Tac, 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 tac. Okay, counterclockwise. I will rename it. So this is counter AAC. Now let's come back to the encryption with the input here, which is changed. The input is not anymore the input txt, but the counter.AAC. And the remaining command line is exactly the same. So here you see it is making a lot more work because I have put the debug output, so there is more things, but no big error which is obvious. So let's look at the size also. What is interesting is to compare the size. The counter AAC is 198. The output binary, which should be encrypted, is 198. This is comprehensible because in fact the music file is already compressed. So the compression do not reduce, but no, logically you should have a reduced file if it is not compressed. Then try to you know what? I will try this. Okay, it is working. Let's put yes. And here you see you cannot hear the file. It is totally encrypted, unusable. So now let's try to decrypt it. So to decrypt it, I say I must remove the -e, put the -d. The output binary is not there. The input is out.bin.aac. And the new output out is counter decrypted.aac. Okay, let's check. Okay, so here we have the validation that the music files is correctly decrypted. It is important because here you see that you can apply also this strong algorithm on binary files, and this is something very important because if you want to transfer a lot of data in an encrypted way, this is the way to go. Here you have the command line and you can create clearly a big zip archive and use this OpenSSL command line, which is the way to go, the standard way to encrypt things. And you know, now with the networks by using HTTPS, for example, often if you are behind a company firewall or different firewall, the group policies makes some security checkings. They make you to accept some certificates, and they can put a tunnel inside and be able to see the clear transportation. So the fact that you are able by yourself to be able to encrypt your own package, even if you are using SSL where some high organization could be make some man in the middle, you can still encrypt the content. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. See you later on this channel. There is a lot of technical videos on this channel. Write down in the comment if you have been helped by this video, and see you later. Bye!